Now, the idea for Doctor Who first came from Sidney Newman, who was the BBC's head of drama, and he appointed Verity Lambert to be the first producer of the programme. She's since become something of a giant in the film and television business.
Her 10 years with Thames Television resulted in such successes as The Naked Civil Servant, Edward and Mrs. Simpson, Rumpole of the Bailey and Minder. Well, she recently left television to join Thorn-EMI to produce feature films.
The only disappointment really in an award-winning career was the failure of that Spanish-set soap opera El Dorado. But Verity didn't give up. She went on to produce more and more hits and is now working on a brand new series of Jonathan Creed.
I had been quite lucky in terms of my career, in that I was producing Doctor Who when I was 27, and even for a man that in those days that was quite young. So that I had personal fortune, if you like, in terms of escaping. Of being passed over.
Was it quite tough for you? Because obviously, especially in those days, it was nearly all men working in drama and television. All the big boys upstairs were always boys. Was it quite tough for you as a woman?
In some ways, it was an advantage because I was such an oddity. Nobody knew quite how to deal with me, so I usually got my own way. Well, I think I look back on almost everything I've done with pleasure because I never really wanted to do anything that I didn't want to do. Even when I was a young producer and should have been extremely grateful for what was thrown to me, I simply couldn't do something that I thought wasn't right.
She remembers that you got sent home once or something.
Oh, did I?
You were wearing trousers.
I can't.
Oh, right, I thought one coming in the end there.
I can't believe I was sent home. I can't believe I went home because I was told I couldn't wear trousers. That would have gone down very badly with me. I think I might have done.
If you were a bad TV producer, or even a not particularly good one, I'd believe what you were saying. I'd believe completely that you were earnest in what you were saying. But you're, one of the kind of top 5. You're very, very good, and you shouldn't be excusing yourself.
I'm not trying to excuse myself. I mean, I'm very sorry if I appear to be excusing myself. I have to tell you, I totally believe what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you as critics is I do not, first of all, I don't think you particularly care about the medium that you write about, and you think basically it's a jolly good way of making a few jokes.
If I gave El Dorado a good review at any time, then what wouldn't
Well, as a matter of fact, you gave it a reasonably good review. I'm not complaining about the fact that you're giving it bad reviews. No, I'm not. It's the attitude that exists.
Which is bad.
Which I think is patronising and which I think trivialises what you write about. And I don't mean just an El Dorado.
I went to work for Thorn-EMI, yes, for 3 years.
Which is quite a change. That's why I wondered.
It was a change. It wasn't. I didn't enjoy it, I have to say. It wasn't.
Well, by chance, our location report this week also concerns intergalactic goings-on, only this time it's them coming down to have a look at us. Morons from Outer Space was written by Mel Smith and Griff Rhys-Jones. Alias and Alas, Smith and Jones, and predictably it's a somewhat bizarre addition to the science fiction genre.
Thank God you're here. If ever there was a time when the skills that you are endowed with were what we have need of, then this is it. Gentlemen, may I present the man who will unravel the mysteries of the aliens' language. This is the big one.
Qu'est-ce que vous dites? Je ne comprends pas. Il y a quelqu'un qui parle français?
The big one.
The big
one. Talking to the aliens. The Padule.
It concerns 4 alien creatures who come from another planet, and they inadvertently land on this planet. They are approached with enormous trepidation while the whole world waits to find out what kind of creatures are inside this spaceship which lands.
We wrote it so that my character spends all his time in America. Clever move, you see. So you think, I'll get over to America for a few weeks.
I come in peace. Will you speak with me? Yep, no, I understand.
I played Graham, the alien's earthling friend, and I'm a sort of well-meaning trainee journalist who, through dint of nobody else really wanting to be involved, I'm the one who goes and covers the story.
Well, I always knew that comedy was difficult, but I'm that when you shot a scene, you're never quite sure that it's very funny or not. And as the business of the scene is to be funny, it is rather difficult.
A little faster, said a whiting to a snail. There's a porpoise close behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance. They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, will you join the dance? Will you, won't you, will you, won't you? Won't you join the dance? Alice. Can really have no notion how... You can really have no notion how... Delightful.
I was disappointed, particularly in the loss of the Dean of Christchurch, i.e. Jane Ash's husband, played by Nigel Hawthorne, because that was a real crux. It was a big fight with the producer, Verity Lambert, to whom every other accolade must be paid, because she got the film made, really, with Thorn-EMI. But she fought us about Nigel, and she was very dismissive of him. And
come on, baby, I'll tell you all I got.
Horse's head. Maniac. A crazy man.
Dr. Phillip is expecting me.
Manor.
There you are. Now come on, let's see you do one. Come on in. Come on. Come on. Think we should let Link in yet? What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I think it is a thing of being in fantasy, being fantastical, if you like, never quite conforming to what you would expect.
Treated cute gloves.
I do see a producer's job as being an enabler. I think that's very much part of a job, to try to get people to do their best work.
Yeah.
I don't change the way I want to make things, although the pressures on casting and everything are quite considerable.
Yeah.
But I've always somehow managed to finesse my way through it and do the things that, rightly or wrongly, I've always managed to have people I want to have rather than the people I'm told I have to have.
I think that's probably it.
Is that it? Fantastic.
We're done. We're going to have a drink.
Well, I hope you've got enough.